live from downtown State College.
Welcome into the Landon Tangwall live post-game call-in show. Penn State dominates Nebraska. Physically took it to them. They were having fun, dancing, breaking records out there. Terry Smith chants just echoing through Beaver Stadium. It was a sight to see. There could not have been a better way for the seniors to go out. Zane Durant and Dennis Sutton getting theirs, especially at the end. I mean, what a day for these guys. Julius Caesar says, hashtag Team Superfly. If you don't know, that was Terry Smith's nickname back in the day. If your nickname was Superfly in the 90s, you were a dude. Let me tell you what. I think the Terry chants are coming in not only in the stadium, but they're going to be all over social media. We're going to get into all of that. I'm going to make sure we want to talk about what Mike Robb said. It was interesting. Miss Sarah Jane, you enjoyed the game.
I did.
That was fun.
It was like, what happened?
I know. It was so cool. We came out right away, passing the ball down the field. I mean, just playing in a gritty,
normal football,
gritty manner. It was just gritty. Let me know in the chat. You want to hire Terry Smith with where we're at? Yes, I can confirm as well that I have heard from other people, just like M. Rob, that these guys want to play for Terry. And I think that's very evident that from what we've seen, even from stepping out on the field against Iowa, there was such a clear change in tone and thought process and just mindset of how this team went about their business. And we played some really good teams those first 3 games for Terry, but you see the swagger and the love that these guys have for him. I don't know. I think a lot of people, it's going to heat up this week. The pressure is going to be on Kraft to go ahead and hire Terry Smith. It's going to be interesting. We have a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Connor. I'm calling from Austin.
Connor, what's your question, my man?
I got a couple. I just wanted to first off start by saying I was born and raised in State College, Pennsylvania, and this was like one really special game, I feel like, for that entire team, coaching staff, and everyone. First question, how would you grade Kotelnicki this game, specifically with like the offensive line creativity, especially with that like second touchdown where he moved, the tackles around? And second question, if we make Terry Smith the head coach and he loses like 2 to 3 games the next 3 years, but beats like a top-tier Ohio State or Oregon, do we have to fire him? Could he move into more of an administrative role? Like, what does that look like? And I ask because I feel like before Franklin was fired, there were 0 Penn State fans who wanted Terry as the head coach. And it almost seems to me like a little selfish and short-sighted for a legend who has dedicated life to this program to like be fired in 3 years.
I think that's a really good question there. I do think that you have to seriously consider Terry. Do I think we will? I'm going to be honest. I do not think Pat Kraft will pull the trigger and hire Terry Smith. But yeah, I mean, if he needs to be a bridge guy and he understands that, and who knows where it goes from there. I mean, yes, it would get to a point if Terry Smith can't get you over the top and win you playoff games and get you to national championship of down the road. Yes, but we're about to head into what is a rebuild. Like we have to accept that's what it's going to be. And I outlined this in my Terry Smith video that I did with Chris Buchanani, where it was like, hey, Terry Smith honestly kind of mitigates a lot of what comes with the rebuild of people staying around. Maybe there's people on all these different staffs that kind of want to stay around and continue to build what we have and build off of that. And instead of having all these guys and have a mass exodus to the transfer portal, you're actually able to tone that back, and you're keeping a lot more players because they want to stay and play for Terry. I think Terry having the 409 Joe pin, I think did a lot. That's definitely blowing up on social media. I put some posts out about it. You hear Mike Robb talking about it at halftime and what this means to everybody. I don't know if since I've been here, if I've ever felt Penn State more united than we are in this moment. Like truly the feeling of we are and success with honor and all of that together. I don't know. I don't know, Sarah. You've been here much, much longer than me, but it feels since I've been around like this feels special right now. And I do think the caller made a great point. Like I think this game's going to be remembered for a while in just the sense of just how it all happened. Katron Allen rushing record. I mean, everything.
It will be, because this is probably, I think part of the reason why Terry's enjoying this is because he doesn't have to worry about NIL or any of the faff that's coming with college football in the now. This is about as kosher and as pure football as you can get. So I don't want to sound like devil's advocate, but this is like the fantasy, like premier emotion of football. It feels like almost high school football. Like this feels like old school football, no NIL, none of that shit. And it's like, this is it. And unfortunately, it's just going to go back to reality after this season's over.
Yeah, no, I mean, you make a good point that that Terry's had to yet to deal with all of that crap that comes
and
now
he's not going to want to deal with that.
It is a lot to deal with. So,
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
The only thing I will say that I love the idea of him staying, the point that you made of having players, retaining players if he does say.
Yeah.
My concern would be the coaching staff staying and it being too stale, and the potential reluctance to change up the coaching staff if Terry were the head coach. I think there does need to be a rebuild on the adult side of things, because it's clear that these players weren't prepared even at the beginning of the season when you had everybody. So, that's kind of my thing, that we not only need a rebuild with players, but we need a rebuild administration, coaching, the whole bit.
Yeah, so I do think you make good points there of clearly the coaching was not all the way where it needed to be. And I see a lot of people say Terry Smith is GM. And I've talked about this too. That's the last thing that Terry would want to do. If you want to talk about, hey, maybe play a personnel role, high level recruiting, all that stuff, whatever he wants to do. If he doesn't end up the head coach, offer him all that. But I'm just telling you, he can't be the GM. You need someone that has lived at least somewhat in the GM world and wants to deal with all these crazy agents, because the agents are not regulated. You got high school trainers repping players as their agents, taking 20% of their money. It's absolutely ridiculous. You got to deal with that, family members, disgruntled players. It's basically the same thing as an NFL GM now, except you're just not higher up than the coach. Like
NFL GMs don't have to deal with players' parents.
So yeah, exactly. You got all that, and also the people that rep the players in the NFL have to be certified, and they're legit people. So it's a big difference. Before we take this next caller, I do want to say today's show is brought to you by Whiteout Tequila. Go to whiteouttequila.com. Get yours for the holiday seasons. This is Michael Motti, Christian Hackenberg's tequila. It is some high-level stuff. Fantastic. I'm enjoying a little mix-up right here in my Whiteout Tequila cup, so make sure you guys support them. The guys that gave us those same type of moments that we know we love, Penn State. It's a great day today. Let's go to the phone lines. Oh, just missed them. We were so close.
They hung up.
I think we had a donate. Oh, here we go. Back to caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike from Lebanon.
Mike, what's your question,
great show.
brother?
Man, I just want to tell you guys I love the show. You're doing a great job. And Terry should be the next head coach. It's his locker room. And that's it. I'm going to go drink a Cherry Coke Zero and party out. You guys have a good night.
There you go, brother. It sounds like a great night. Yeah. Everybody's
Cherry Coke Zero.
Cherry Coke's good. I don't know. Everybody's feeling Terry right now. Everybody's feeling Terry. So real quick, let's get to Farzad. Farzad, thank you for the donation. I feel like Franklin was holding us hostage. Terry finally made the team work the way it was supposed to. What the actual F was Franklin doing the whole time? I think VT just got swindled. Landon is the GOAT. Farzad, thank you very much. You heard... Oh, Farzad with the back-to-back. Thank you very much. Terry is a strong statement for himself. There are more proven commodities out there, but Terry is obviously a very, very good coach. He finally has made Penn State feel like Penn State. We settled for Franklin. Farzad is letting you know how he feels. Yeah, Penn State does feel like Penn State right now. Even though I wasn't here for the past of it, I can feel it. I've been around enough people, and it's cool. I'm smiling. I think a lot of people are really happy walking out of Beaver Stadium at the moment. And we had Mike Robb at halftime. He was talking about how he felt, and he said, I'm tired of, people using Penn State job for money and things, and just moving on up. And we want someone that truly represents what Penn State is. And I think Terry Smith couldn't be a better fit for that. He said that he was talking to players around the team The quote he gave was, from what he heard from a lot of the people, "I'm staying if Terry Smith gets this job." That's a pretty powerful statement there from Mike Robb, one of the all-time greats in Penn State football history. So it's going to happen these next 7 days, guys. That's what I suspect. Make sure to subscribe. Just subscribe. I'm going to keep you up to date. We'll have videos on every single piece of news that comes out. Let's head to the phone lines. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Kevin, Denver, Colorado.
What's your question, Kevin?
Well, I was just going to make 3 points. One, about Terry Smith being the best of the bunch right now that we have out there, since there's no huge winners. 2, Nicholas Singleton running hard. We haven't seen that in a while with him dragging tacklers. And then 3, I just think Landon's amazing. He's even gotten my girlfriend, who doesn't really like football, enjoying the show.
Thank you so much. I love it. Those are all great statements. No, I really appreciate you guys. I know this has not been the most fun season, but it's been fun going on the ride with you guys and covering this whole thing. And as we've said, Penn State is still going to be Penn State. We're going to be just fine. And I think we're all feeling that right now. Connor, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, brother. We had a donation before talking about Bobby. Yes, my man Nathaniel, thank you. He said Bobby Ingram for OC for Terry. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Bobby does, how that interview goes for him. We got a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's John from the Eastern Shore. I've got 3 questions.
Go for it, brother.
All right. 1, when it comes to the coaching search, why, is some of the national media types who are saying, people are just scared off by the Penn State job? Have you heard anything that's similar to that? 2, if it is Terry Smith, can't we just, hire around to, fix his inadequacies? If you got, an OC, like another Penn State love bug. Oh my God, I'm blanking on him. The now running backs coach for Notre Dame.
Oh, Jawan Sider.
Sider.
Right.
Get him as the OC. Just make it a true blue Penn State coach's coach. Lock down the Mid-Atlantic. Ride with that. I don't know. That sounds like it's gonna put a cap on our ceiling, but
he's talking himself out of it.
I just talked myself out of that one.
Oh yeah, man. So I think I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Where we sit right now, have I changed how I felt about hiring Terry? Yes. Do I think Pat Kraft is going to do it? Where we sit right now, my answer would be no. But I think if you get to the end of next week and you do not have something that you really like, if you're Pat Kraft, at that point, this is not where we were at the end of October when we felt like we had everything in front of us. This is a much different situation. I think everything would be united. I think the money would come flying in if Terry Smith was the head coach of Penn State football. But I don't know if Pat Kraft will go that route. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this all unfolds over the next week. We'll have a lot of news around it, guys. Don't worry. Terry Smith's pressers. I'm excited to go watch his presser after this. I'm sure there's going to be some great moments from that. And then Monday, there's going to be a great presser too from Terry Smith, and we'll have all that covered. Matt Rule, his reunion here, State College, did not go as planned for him. I think everybody's happy we did not go the Matt Rule route. I think that was good for us. Let's go with the Letterman that we got right now. If we're going to go with the Letterman, we have a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Dylan Dixon, South Georgia.
My man, what's your question?
I just kind of wanted to know how you feel with Terry Smith at the helm, and we're not really feels like we're not playing with handcuffs anymore, and he definitely does not wash his chicken.
He definitely does not wash his chicken. That's a Twitter follower right there, if I ever heard one. Yeah, so I feel how you guys feel about it. I feel really excited, and I think that's where everybody's at. I do wonder, as someone said earlier, does this, and Sarah kind of alluded to this, of saying is this, I don't know. If we were to, let me play devil's advocate. I know everybody's riding high on emotion, but let me just play the other side. What if this was like the peak emotion of it? And it's like we get to next season and you lose a couple games and then it kind of starts to wear off. And it's like, oh, that was cool, but maybe we should have hired XYZ or Heartline or whoever. And we kind of got caught up in our emotions. So, I mean, that was my initial, not being against hiring Terry, but my just initial argument, if I was going to argue the other side, is are we a little wrapped up in our emotions because of what everything he's doing is so amazing, of what he represents, and talking about Joe and how he's got the team playing and the effort and all of that. I don't know. But yes, I think it's clear that it was, if anything, it can be fully put to bed that it was the right decision to move on from James Franklin. I think that's clear. I think the way everybody's playing. No, Penn State has not looked like they did against Nebraska today in any other game this year. I don't care about any of the first 3 games. When we played in Villanova, we didn't even look as good as we did today. Just the operation standpoint. Terry Smith clearly, and I think they kind of mentioned on the broadcast, put a cap on Kotelnicki and his trick plays. Like, yeah, we were moving the offensive line around a little bit. I don't all the way categorize that under full-on trick play, because sometimes you do that super unbalanced to just get them to line up differently. It's not necessarily like, yeah, you could call it a trick play, but it's just it's different. So that's the furthest length that Kotelnicki went, and it was fantastic, and we passed the ball down the field. I felt like I was like dreaming that the entire game, it wasn't like it took us to the second half. We passed the ball down the field, and that's why we were able to run the ball so successfully. And let us put this out there. Katron Allen, when he went to become the all-time leading rusher in Penn State football history, Liam Clifford was the quarterback that handed the ball off to him. How about, I mean, that's a Penn State.
By the way, shout out Adam in the chat.
Oh,
Adam Telefair.
A-Dubs was on top of. Oh, Adam Telefair was up in there.
Yeah,
my guy, another Penn State legend. That's got to be happy. I missed. What did he have? Did he say anything about Terry?
No, he just
Terry?
said best game of the season by far.
Right?
It was. It was like, what happened? I felt like the team that we've been seeing was tied up in the back.
They
had a new. It was like a.
Listen. Let loose. They were let loose, and they had fun.
Well, Joe used to say before he'd get out there, let it all hang out.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say. They'll know what I'm talking about.
I've heard it already. Emrav said, thank you for the donation. He said, Franklin took the emotion out of the game, out of the program with his 1-0 mantra. I get the intention, but football is an emotional game. Terry brought it back. Yeah, Terry.
Well, he played not to lose.
I think I got my swagger back. Seen that video? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Classic.
But
you look
James,
disappointed there.
Well, no. It's just like, I love you, sweetie. You're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, like you always said, James played to not lose. It's kind of like he was perpetually laying up on par fives and would never go for it for 2 or try and get there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was just
I forget who it was on the broadcast, but it was someone was like, look, this. Like, everybody was playing up tight. Like, everybody was wound up, and it was just like puckered holes, and
only dogs could hear them fart.
Yeah, it was not where it needed to be, and these guys were just. Well,
wouldn't you say they would
again.
have meetings of the meeting about the meeting for the upcoming meeting?
Yeah, always meetings and the 1-0 stuff, and I do think it starts to get a little like there's certain things you just gotta. It's there. You just gotta get up. You just gotta get up and go after it. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the donation. Seriously, appreciate you guys donating, supporting the cause. We're going to be pumping out great content for you guys all off season long too, so don't you worry. It's going to be coming strong. Connor said, great thoughts on Smith. Thoughts on Andy and the offensive line, the rest of this offense this game. Yes, it was beautiful. The play calling was fantastic. I was really, really happy with Andy.
What do you think happened?
Mix. I mean, I think Terry definitely got involved to an extent and said, listen.
So AK got manhandled?
Yeah, I mean, he needed to.
He did.
I've talked about his itch and his need to scratch it. And finally, we didn't have to have that itch in this game, and it was exciting. Offensive line, far and away, played the best game of the season. I'm excited to watch this All-22 tape because they were absolutely moving dudes on a bunch of those touchdowns. They were just caving in sides of the line of scrimmage, and that is why it works so well. The fake, so Luke says in the comment section, that fake punt, didn't they run the same thing last year against Minnesota? Yes, that was virtually the same exact play. Got a really nice seal block from Dom Ruley, who was the same guy that called the fake punt last year in Minnesota. Just so we're clearing things up, there was no head coach that made that call last year in Minnesota. It was Dom Ruley, freshman walk-on center He is a guy that deserves a lot of credit. That's a glue guy that walked today on senior day, so I wanted to make sure he got his credit. He is a real guy from Kentucky. So I want to show my gratitude for him and what he's done for the program. Cryptop says, what do you think about the recruit's dad saying that PSU's told everyone to decommit? Big difference between Terry losing recruits and being sabotaged.
Ooh.
Thank you for the donation. I don't have anything concrete on that. I will say, and I've expressed this, that is some of the dangers when you have personnel staff that is likely to go join the coach elsewhere that just left, and they're still working at the place that they are at.
Still getting a paycheck.
Well, what?
Still getting their paycheck.
Yeah, still getting their paycheck, but I'm just saying, what are you going to do? Would you rather help out where you're going to go or where you're still at? I'm not saying anybody's doing anything. I don't know anything for sure, but just naturally as human beings.
It's petty.
It's
punky.
It's very
just like the last guy.
It's something. That's so good, Sarah. Jeffrey, thanks for the donation. He said, odds that NBC was pushing Terry tonight. I think PK knows he's not getting a splash higher and needs Terry in the old school money to save his bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
Trust me, Kraft does know what it would mean to hire Terry from a monetary standpoint. The support would just roll in. You get everybody back that you could possibly want as far as donors. There's no one in the Penn State community that would not get behind Terry Smith,
especially after that pin.
Right? He knew what he was doing. Let's be real about that. Thank you for the donation, Penn State 98. He says, I've done a 180 on Terry. I actually teared up watching the boys walking back to him, hugging him, showing higher Terry signs.
Mm-hmm.
This has been really cool. This has been really since, it was already like coming up, but really the presser where Terry, shed some tears and talked about what Penn State meant to him. The build up from that, it's been special. And there's been a uniting of just fronts on Penn State, just with Terry Smith at the helm. And I don't know, you guys let me know in the chat, like, how much does that mean? Like, how much of importance do we place on uniting Penn State as a whole? And we really haven't been fully united in a while. And also going with the coach that's best to win football games, which is at the end of the day the most important thing. But I don't know, how do you balance that? And I think there is definitely Terry Smith is definitely going to succeed at raising all that money. I think he can be a very good coach. It would just be a big question of the rebuilds, because as much as we got guys saying they want to stay, you still are going to have to go heavy into the transfer portal, and it's not like you're going to get denied Dennis Sutton and Zane Duran and Nick Singleton back. I mean, these guys are moving on. So, I mean, there's going to be a development factor and, the logistics of where does Terry get his staff from? Where does he go out? Is it guys that he he has coached with? Does he go get Tyler Bowen from Ohio State? Is he dipping to different places and just kind of grabbing guys from here and there? So that's something I'm very curious to see. We got a caller. Lost him.
Yeah, you had somebody saying I was trying to call.
We got Sarah's snapping at me.
Well, finally, he kept raising his hand and saying, we got a caller, we got a caller, and we got another one right now.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Landon. It's Michael. I'm calling from Southern Illinois, but I'm originally from a place called Bellwood, not too far from State College.
Very nice, very nice. What's your question, my man?
Yeah, man. So listen, hey, I don't have much of a question. I actually just wanted to make a couple statements. First of all, I just want to say congratulations to you and your show. You guys are doing an awesome job. Second of all, congratulations on your engagement. I think you got what we call a keeper. She is a football connoisseur, man. You don't want to lose that. And then I just wanted to briefly state my case for Terry Smith, if I could.
Absolutely. Go for it, brother.
Yeah, listen, man, I watched the show. I've been watching it since the beginning of the season, and I think you said it yourself. If you look back at the first couple of games, you said that the offense was out of sync, the defense wasn't looking very good, and there was just something wrong with this team. And I 100% agreed with you. I've been following this season, and just to watch the way that this went down, and then to see, I know it's easy to get emotional when you see a coach that is able to do what Terry Smith has done in such a short period of time. And I understand that there's emotions involved, and you also have to use logic and Pat Kraft and all that stuff. It's a business decision at the end of the day. But if you want to just make a case for rallying the fan base around a winning tradition, a man that was a part of a Joe Paterno lineage in some way, either as a player or in that type of way. I just think that Terry Smith offers what we wanted to see, at least in the beginning of the season, was a hard-nosed team, right? A team that knows how to run the ball, simplifying the offense, getting behind your two bell cow running backs. Look at the way the offensive line has pushed the defensive line back. Now, we know that Nebraska isn't a great running defense, okay, granted. But I'm just saying, if you would go all the way back to the beginning of the season, how different would this season have gone, per se, if you would have had a motivated, simplified defense, a motivated, bell cow-oriented running offense? How different would this season have been? And I just think,
I think it definitely could have been very different if this team had a different mindset going in to every single game. And we can sit here and look at, would it be better to not have the 1-0 mindset, all that type of stuff. I mean, it is what it is at this point. But I do think we see the way that people want to play for Terry, players on the sidelines having higher Terry signs. It says enough about what he truly means to them and how they just feel about him. And I think you could get a lot of that out of the recruits that Terry brings in. I mean, he is very powerful recruiter in the PA area. Can you keep a couple guys on? If I'm Ty Howell, I know how much Ty Howell loves Terry Smith. Do I want to be? It depends what would get offered to Ty Howell. Maybe if he's the OC at Virginia Tech, I don't know if that's different. But if I'm going to be the tight end coach at Penn State, at my alma mater, or the tight end coach at Virginia Tech, I know where I'm going if I'm Ty Howell. That's someone I want to keep around. High, can recruit at a very high level in the DMV area. I mean, listen, we can start to get in the logistics again of Terry Smith, because it seems like this is becoming real. And it wouldn't be as real if Penn State had their guy, basically. And it was like, hey, we knew we have to wait till the end of the season, but it's going to be this guy. And it hasn't been anything. It really hasn't been that at all. Not even in the slightest bit. And I think we kind of thought that's how this hiring process would go, but it just hasn't went that way. And so you start to look at, okay, what's the best course of action? And a big piece of that is believing. Confidence is the most important thing in sports. And if everybody has confidence, not only the players, but the head coach has confidence, and the fans and the alumni and the boosters, and then your wallet got a little confidence. That changes things. And this day and age too, it would be fantastic to play for Penn State when I'm looking at it as a high school recruit. But if Penn State has some real money, some real money, that changes things. And if Terry Smith can open up some big time wallets that have not been opened really since Joe Paterno was the head coach at Penn State, and when there was only so much you could do with money, you weren't paying players. At least, we weren't up here. SEC is a different story. But I just throw that shade. Dan Lanning actually threw some heavy shade at the SEC in his press conference, so I enjoyed that. Yeah, he was basically saying, we didn't play Mercer today. He said something like that.
They were playing Northern Illinois.
I enjoyed that.
Alabama was at the end of their season.
I
made a gripe about that on your ride along.
You did. It's over now. SEC will be playing 9 games starting next year.
Very good.
Yeah, that's cool. John Bones Jones. Thank you for the donation, my man. Yeah, guys, this is cool. Tin Can. Thank you for the donation. She said, love Michael Robinson's comments. Turning point, hire Terry. Yeah, Mike Rob let it be known how he felt. Mike Rob, pretty much exactly what he said is how I felt about everything.
I hope Terry gets some real autonomy if he were the head coach.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why Penn State is seeming like it's not the desirable job to the external hiring pool.
Yeah, we'll see. And I think if Terry were to get that, I think there would be an understanding of the type of power he would have. He should have as much as any other top head coach if he were to become the head coach here. And I think too, there's going to be some pressure put on Kraft, not only by the fan base this coming week, but by the people that matter the most to Kraft, and that is all the people with the big wallets. And I'm sure the majority of them are sitting there right now.
Who also has pressure too is the board of trustees.
I'm sure a lot of them want Terry. I'm sure they do. We also, I did the film breakdown of Drew Aller against West Virginia. I showed you guys how different that guy was on his first game ever and how much worse it got over time. And I think that kind of goes back to Sarah's point. If you weren't watching earlier, she basically said, hey, yeah, I want to hire Terry, but we also do need to reset this staff a little bit. I think that was clear, and it wasn't just James Franklin, and I think that's the truth. So you have to be careful also. What kind of plan does Terry have? Because we don't need to just make this, Franklin B basically, and it's like, oh, okay, this is just his team without him. Like, we don't need to keep that. Like, we still need to kind of turn the page, but that's the questions I'd be asking Terry if I'm Pat Kraft. Like, that would be my number one question. It seems like he did interview him now. Originally, when Terry Smith was asked just about a week ago, he had not been interviewed, but I do think it has happened since, and that would be my number one question. Like, how are you going to turn the page from Franklin, but also make it so we can not have this just absurd turnover where we are going to be in a massive rebuild? Can you kind of glue this thing together and make it easier for Penn State to take that next step?
I don't think having a massive rebuild in this day and age is really as big of a deal as it was prior to NIL and all that.
Well, obviously not with the transfer portal.
I feel like it's going to be faster. A rebuild nowadays is much faster than it was 10, 15 years ago.
Well, it helps when you're a big brand, you're a national brand, you do have the transfer portal and things of that nature. But still, if you do have to go to the transfer portal for 55, 60 guys, that can be
think
kind
of
hard.
Think of other places like the Eagles or just other places that have taken it on the chin and rebuild, and how I'm dying for the Steelers to just take it on the chin and rebuild.
I've been begging for it. That's all I've been wanting is for us to do that. We will take a caller, and then we're going to talk bowl games after this caller, guys. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey Landon, this is TK. Obviously, love the show, love the content.
My guy.
I know you've been getting a lot of questions about Terry, about where we're going to go next, but I wanted to ask, does this performance tonight warrant an Altoona Chili's trip? And if it does, what is the order on that trip?
I think it does. We haven't been in a little while.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, so
it will.
We're gonna. Yeah, it does warrant.
I'll tell you, TK. The order is usually for him the smokehouse combo.
My toilet's already screaming just hearing that.
It is.
Yeah, it's smokehouse combo. We're getting the.
Oh, and then you get chips with the homemade ranch.
Yeah,
he dips tortilla chips in ranch.
I kill the ranch there. It's the best ranch ever made in America ever. But we're getting the crispers. I get the jalapeno.
Kielbasa.
Pork kielbasa something, poppers, and then we get the brisket quesadilla too. So it's a good old time. Some corn, some mac and cheese, some fries.
I either get the fajitas or the Santa Fe chicken salad. With
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
something
so yeah,
like
my stomach normally hurts afterwards, but we're gonna go with that.
I usually have to drive home.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes
Some pains in the back.
You got to take a moment after that Chili's trip, guys. Hear me out. Let's take down Greg Schiano and Rutgers next week in Piscataway. And we're going to the Pinstripe Bowl.
Is that where
we're gonna take our behinds to the Pinstripe Bowl for Christmas, and we're gonna have a New York Christmas, and we're gonna go there, and we are going to finish off in James Franklin's career, even though he's already gone, but this was still his year. We're gonna finish off with a win in the Pinstripe Bowl, just like we did in 2014 when he came in,
and then without him.
Without him, though. And it'll all just be beautiful. My hope, some people are going to say they want Pitt in the Pinstripe Bowl. I'd rather have Clemson. If we can play Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl, there is interest. People are tuning in. There's going to be a lot of support. If it's Terry Smith in that one, I'd almost think. It's hard. If you're like a Dennis Sutton senior, do you want to play that last game and wait around, or you just want to go ahead and get to training? I don't know. I don't know what the logistics will look like. All the people that will follow Franklin, are they going to leave before? If we do go to the Pinstripe Bowl, a lot of logistics in that. But if you get Penn State versus Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl, let me tell you what, that would be a damn good end to this season. Phillies, thank you for the donation. He said, Landon time, I don't know, whatever curse word, JP409, producer John's itching. JP409's still out. So
that was gone a long time ago.
He was gone, but so we're gonna take a shot of the Whiteout tequila when we get out of here. We got some cleaning up to do, but I promise you guys can take it with me. Go to whiteouttequila.com. Support Michael Motti, Christian Hackenberg. They do a great job pushing this out. If you are in the PA area, you can get it in, what is it? Fine Wine, Good Spirits. What are they called?
Very good.
Yeah, those are the stores.
I'm learning. The
State Store. So make sure you guys support them, support the show. They do a great job. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff with them, so be on the lookout for that. Man, Oh, here we go. Last question. Walking catastrophe. Hey, Landon, curious about players' perspective on 7 p.m. kick times. Fans love them. James Franklin preferred the noon kick, obviously. Curious where you, as a player, stand. Yeah, 7 p.m. kicks are the worst. You get about a 4-hour nap time in like middle of the day while everybody's tailgating. The players are like sleeping basically, but it sucks. I for one, I like a 3:30. You don't still got the crusties in your eyes when you're getting to the stadium, but you woke up enough and you didn't have to wait at the hotel for 5 hours in your hotel room. So we don't really like them that much. It's too much waiting and you feel kind of cooped up. John Jones Bones, he's back again. $2 donation. Thank you so much. He says, team with higher Coach Smith signals it all. Yes, it does. Let me know in the comments. Give me a higher Terry Smith if you are all on board with the Terry Smith train. I think a lot of people are feeling that way. It is a great night to be a Penn Stater, to be a Nittany Lion. Ton of I just feel proudness just pouring out of everybody's hearts right now, and that makes me really happy as a Penn Stater. So keep supporting these guys. They deserve it. Keep supporting Terry Smith. Without further ado, go State. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.